Welcome back to Happy Mind, Happy Life podcast. I'm your host, Brittany. Thank you guys for tuning in today. I was like not even sure how to kind of put this episode into words, but we're going to be discussing healing, growing into spirituality, and becoming the best version of me. Hopefully during this episode, I can always like encourage other people to do the same thing, whatever like you're comfortable with as well. So let's get into it. All right. So I really want to talk about healing and like what is healing and stuff like that. I would definitely say making yourself healthy, becoming a wiser, like prouder version that you want the world to see you be. I think like most of all, like when I look at like my notes and stuff, I put like a balanced individual, but everything is not always balanced, but I try to make a lot of things kind of maneuver the way like I would want it to. And that can be very, very hard. Also like I was never consistent. I have a hard time being consistent in the things that I do. So being consistent in what you want to see come out of your growth while also participating in making your reality a beautiful outcome. Also like, healing wounds that you probably didn't even think that were there, and that's why I kind of always trail back to childhood, figuring out like what happened during those time periods, because even just being a teen or like an adult, you're navigating your 20s and stuff like that, a lot of stuff that you portray into situations, relationships, friendships, whatever, like it has something to do with that, like 100% of the time. Yeah, and I've learned a lot during that part. Also, just digging deep into the part of you that needs cleansing, and I always try to like tell people like, please go heal. Like, and I know when people are just not in like the place to really navigate their minds into like healing or like wanting better to do better. That way, they're creating a healthy, a more special, loving environment around them. Hopefully, like that makes sense to me. Also, healing is it can mean all types of things, and I feel like everybody has their own way of healing, and I'm not knocking anybody for like how they do healing, but me, I definitely, let me see. So some of the things that like I do that are healing would probably be listening to music, meditating. I like listening to like water and stuff like that, like healing noises for meditation reasons, like especially when I'm going to sleep and stuff like that. If I said journal, I do journal. Journaling is like my favorite thing to do because I get to write out all my emotions, my feelings, and learning to navigate it in that predicament, that space, and that's my release. My journal is my release. I don't know how many journals I've gone through. If you've ever been journal shopping with me, you already know. So yeah. I think like when I wanted to heal, I just really had to look at the worst versions of myself from my past and like even things I've done or dealt with like in my present time. It was devastating. It was really sad to look at in a sense because I don't want to portray like that I'm perfect. I can always sit here and say like I'm really trying to grow and I'm really trying to do better. And half of the not even half of the time, like most of the time I'm always being tried in my healing process, my growth process. And it's hard to really use the tools that I've learned because it's a lot of like I feel like I'm on trial sometimes and I'm trying not to screw up my healing, and it's like I don't want to do the wrong thing because in the same moment of predicament, like karma's like right there at the doorstep, footstep, whatever, is waiting on me. And then so I always try to leave with my heart. Sometimes I try to leave with my mind and like the things that I think that are the best thing. And sometimes it's really not. But I think like I'm always afraid of like during my healing process, like I'm always afraid of like screwing up something because then I have to start right back over. I don't like doing that. I've done it before. But yeah, like people definitely have different healing versions of themselves. So that's interesting to know too, because I don't know what everybody has done to heal what they've felt like were the worst parts of themselves or what they felt like wasn't healthy or mature at the time or just whenever. So again, like everybody defines their own healing different. I really during like my healing journey and stuff like that, I really had to dig deep. And I think I've said this in like family dynamics too, like looking at childhood wounds and really just navigating those into like why I've just portrayed those same actions as either my parents, and why I act the way that I do, why I believe the things that I do, why I'm not the best person sometimes. Like now I try to be, but in the past like no. But I definitely had a lot of childhood wounds to heal. Like I had to ask questions, and I had to not even asking people questions, but I really had to look at the experiences that I've dealt with as a kid to really define, like, is this something that is going to really be released, or am I going to like keep doing the same thing all the time? And I don't remember much of my childhood, but the things I do remember, it's very traumatic. It's very sad. Things people don't see a lot. Like the outside world do not see a lot of everything that I dealt with as a child. And so I think a lot of times you get blamed as a child by the way you're acting. I don't think a lot of it goes towards the parents. I mean, you can blame the parents too, but a lot of times, like, I'm the type of person who does what I want to do at the end of the day. Like, I don't like nobody telling me what I can do. I don't like listening to somebody to give me advice. Like, I'm very stubborn in the head. Like, it takes me a minute to like really click. One thing goes in and out the other ear, and I'll say like, yeah, I'm listening. Really, I'm not. No. Like, and I've always been the type of person to, and I feel like I'm a healer as well. Like, I'm always able to give advice, but I'm not able to accept it in the same manner because I don't want to. And so it's really hard taking my own advice when I want to do better, or if I want other people around me to kind of navigate in a more healthier environment as well. Like it is very hard. Like I can dish advice, I can really dish it and give you the best advice ever. For me to take it, yeah. What has healing like brought to my life? Overall, a new outlook on perspectives. I've looked at everybody's perspectives differently now, and I try to understand more so why things happen the way that they do instead of jumping down everybody's throats. And I look at friendships and relationships, people now that I've like that I've dated, or situationships, whatever. Like I look at things from such a different perspective because at the end of the day, they could have been right about certain things that I was just portraying. And at the end of the day, like, yeah, it could definitely be defined as correct. But a new perspective on life, like you only have one life to live. I think in healing and growing, at the end of the day, all you want is peace and happiness. And that's one thing about me. Like I don't want peace. I don't want people to mess up my peace. I don't want people to mess up my happiness. And there's always those miserable people that want to come around and do that because they're not happy within themselves. And that has taken me a lot to learn, because I can't always hold things against people. I cannot always take things personal. I have to like surrender and let things go and just let the universe deal with them however they choose to be dealt with. It may not be right when I want them to, because a lot of times I'm like, get them, get them, get them. And then at the time I'm just like, patience is key. Communication now, that's a new perspective too, just communicating things in a more healthier way. I love talking things out. I love getting deep and getting to know different perspectives in a deeper manner. And I feel like that's fun for me. I wasn't always the type of person to listen. I wasn't the person to really take constructive criticism. Like I'm very sensitive about certain things. So it's just healing and stuff like that. Like the journey along itself, like has really made me like calm down to really just listen, be open to learning. Yeah. I feel like that's been fun too. I'm not gonna lie, because really deep down, like I have my own perspectives about healing. Because and again, like when I get into situations like relationships or friendships, like I could take a break from friendships and stuff like that. I will literally just say I'm healing and just like I'm not talking to nobody. I feel unattracted to any and everything that moves. And I feel like I'm healing. I feel like I'm healing, but I didn't know the true consistency of it. I really did not know. I've always thought I've healed from things until like I'm being triggered by the same situation. And once I go back into that kind of lack of looping and stuff like that, like it's very hard to bring yourself back into a healthier mindset space and all of that. Like it's very hard. It can be hard, but yeah, that's a huge thing. What else? It's not easy. Like along the way of like healing and stuff, like I've been given like reassurance. I think I've taken advice from friend, like Destiny, Dime, like they've always given me advice and stuff, even though I'm already practicing it and learning it along the way. I'm always like trying to persevere through any struggles. I want to get into this person because I always mention her in the podcast. I talk about her and I say I'm going to talk about her, and really like today's the day. So I want to define who Paris is. She's a healer. She's a psychic. She does readings too. I met her in person, but I mostly talk to her online and stuff. She's such a genuine person. Oh my gosh, I love her. Like I could talk about her for a long time, and she's always given me great guidance and healing in such a beautiful way. And she's one of the reasons why I am like the greatest or just better versions of myself. Like I've done a lot of work, but she has like been there from start to finish. Not even start to finish, from the start, because I feel like she'll be in my life for a long time. But she is such, like, I don't meet a lot of genuine people, but when I meet people or like when I talk to them, like you can just tell like the sincerity, like they really do care for you and stuff like that. And even in the beginning, like I was so against doing any kind of like psychicness, like anything, tarot readings, cards, like no. I was like against it because who was gonna give me guidance on my life besides me? Just me. I just wanted guidance for myself. And I wasn't open to anyone like trying to tell me what to do about my relationships, like my life, childhood, whatever. I was not for it. Okay. I was against it. I was really against it until a lot of stuff started happening and it started making sense. Like anything like that I've gotten in readings with her, like they have came out to be true. It's kind of like take what resonates, leave what doesn't. And a lot of stuff that I've like spoken to her about, like it's come out to be true. But along the way, like she has given me like such a new perspective on life and a new happiness. So she knows a lot of what I've been through. And so I'm lucky to like really, really have her along the way right now. I cannot wait to talk to her again. But I would introduce people to her. I just feel like a lot of people are not always just open to getting readings or into spirituality, stuff like that, and just open to guidance and stuff. Like people have their own perspectives about that as well. But Paris is definitely a big person, like a huge she's such a huge person in my life, and I'm like super super blessed to have her in my life. I'm not gonna lie, like I love her. Like I know like she'll tell me in the reading like I love you girl, like I'm so proud of you, and I love hearing that from her because I need those moments. I love connecting with people now. I love like the moments that I have with supportive people who really genuinely like help me get to where I am to just do better, to live better, to love better, to want better. And so I'm really grateful for her, like period. Yeah. um I feel like everybody will go through a time or cycle that helps their mind like seek guidance, and luckily I got to experience that within her and everything. I still get to experience that too. Like I still get to experience that. So I'm excited to like have that more so in my life, and I'm excited that whenever I do talk to her again, like it's gonna be lit because I need answers. I do go to her just for clarity if I want questions answered that I just don't know, like the unknown and stuff like that. Like that's really a big thing too. I think just wanting to know certain things, and sometimes like my guides and them like they push back. So but now I'm just learning to flow in the moment and not really like overanalyze, even though I still tend to, but I'm just navigating the way I'm supposed to, or that I'm wanting to. Yeah. Why do I think it's taking this long to heal? I think that um I don't know. I think like you only get one life, yes. But I think like I was just like I'm just tired. Like I have lazy bones. Like I'm always burnt out a lot of times. And again, like consistency. Like a lot of times I don't follow through with guidance or anything that's like being given to me. In a sense, I didn't take a lot of things seriously, like the way like I needed to, the way I needed to perform in my own reality. Um, it's very hard, I think, because you don't want to disappoint yourself. Like I'm in my 20s right now, And a lot of times I get to questioning like my life and my purpose a lot, and sometimes I dissociate from reality a lot as well. A lot. I just find myself just not connected to anything moving, breathing, and I'm trying to be present, but it's not. And I feel like even with healing and stuff like that, I go through those moments, and it's very mind blowing, like that this is what we deal with. This is how my brain is functioning. And I take a master's class in psychology right now. So as I'm learning and navigating how the brain works, it's starting to make a little bit of sense. Not even a little bit, a lot of sense. Let me see. La 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 la. What brought on like me wanting to heal? Like relationships, situations, kind of going through family trauma and stuff like that. I think I needed to feel like I need to feel feelings. I need to feel emotions. Once I got to a point where I sat with those feelings and was wanting to like let go and say certain affirmations, all those feelings started getting really heavy in my chest, and I just started crying. Everything just started releasing at that point. Once you start releasing kind of like every day and surrendering and letting go to whatever it is that may not be good for you, like it's very for me it was just very 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 heavy. I didn't like the way I looked. I didn't like the way I felt. Again, like a lot of times when I'm doing this, like my reality feels like it's not the same anymore. My reality feels like nothing's going to work out. I just had a fear of living. I didn't even want to live anymore when healing and stuff like that, because I didn't think anything would get better for me. But a lot of times, like a lot of things that have happened to me, it was like the same cycle. So I wasn't where I wanted to be at in life either, and I knew what I wanted as an outcome or like a resolution. And so if I wanted a better life, like I had to do the work, the consistency of the work. And that's really kind of where it started. Not necessarily where it started, because I'm about to get into that too, but that's like along the journey and stuff like that. But yeah, like sitting there, like feeling your emotions, all that. I cannot speak for everybody else, because how I feel my emotions and stuff like that when everything gets heavy and stuff, like I panic. Like I literally go into panic mode, because like when you're feeling like you haven't felt these emotions before. So how I release would probably like be crying. Other people release by doing other things that I probably would never do. But yeah. Also I want to talk about a relationship, like a situation that I haven't like discussed before. Really I haven't talked about her to anybody really like closely or deeply except for Paris. And yeah, and this is another reason why my healing journey was like really brought on for me to be consistent. I want to discuss Shay. I Shay, she was my girlfriend. We broke up, of course, and it's been 2 years. It's probably been like 2 years that I haven't seen her, and then like a year. I'm just gonna say a year that we haven't like spoken. And then like I really just thought she was my person. Everything was in sync mode. It was like kind of like a runner chaser kind of thing, but everything was like mesmerizing. You just felt this certain pull towards one another. And so I wanted her in my space, my company, all the time. Like I would be upset if she left, like literally just crying, because she was like my best friend. Like she was just literally there, like so many certain or most things in common and stuff like that. Like it was just, and we were in sync. Okay. But like yeah, there was like kind of like no boundaries established and stuff like that. Like I saw her all the time. We hung out when we wasn't working and stuff like that. This is somebody I've also lived with at a point in my life. But I guess like just not even I guess like along the way, like we both lost each other. We lost each other, we lost who we were in the time being. And I came into the relationship with an identity. I just really, and I'm like she did too. Like of course she had her own thing. She was very outgoing. She was just very like funny, sweet, kind. You know, she's such a beautiful human being. Like yeah. And oh, I can't believe I'm talking about her. Yeah, she was all of those things. She's so much more, like, and I hope like I don't know what the future has in store for us. But yeah, even just getting back to along the way, like it came like a toxic environment, just losing who we were in the predicament. No boundaries were like kind of established. It was just toxic, just controlling people from outside and giving like their opinions and just running with it and not really like discussing things just within us. And like a lot of times, like I didn't really discuss everything I had going on with Shay. I think she more so had an outlet to talk to about certain things without talking to me. And just on top of that, like I don't know, like I've never dealt with, I probably have, but I probably just don't remember, but dealing with somebody who let another person discuss me, but I also want a partner who respects me enough to say something in the process. Like I would never let somebody disrespect my girl. Like not when I'm sitting there. Like we're not about to do any of those things, especially if I'm in like the room as well. So, and that was just a big thing too. Just it was just like a toxic environment, controlling. I was controlling as well. I don't have the best. Like there was happy moments, there were bad moments. When things were good, they were good. When they were like bad, they were like really bad. I never thought like the things that she never cheated or none of that, like no. But I really never thought like during the predicament of like our situation and stuff like that that she would do certain things that she did to me, like once we were like really really done, like really really done. And she has apologized and stuff for like certain things like she did. We came back around because we had went through like a no contact situation whatsoever, like blocking each other, all of that, and that was just part of the healing journey too. But like even along the way, like I still like cared about her, and I wanted the best for her regardless. I just knew like we wasn't right for each other. Like we were not like soulmates and stuff. After she moved to another state, like that was just very, it was very hard. Like when I saw her before she left, I dropped her off at the airport and everything, and I knew my reality was going to be devastating a little bit. I didn't know how to like really navigate without her being there, knowing like she wasn't in the same city as me anymore. It was just like it was really sad, depressing. She was a big part of like my happiness. Like things felt like a little normal when she was around, and I didn't want, like I just felt like she abandoned me, to be honest. Like she wanted a better life for herself. Like she wanted to do things that were going to put her in a position to be happy and kind of get her life together and stuff like that. And I always commend people for wanting to do that for themselves. But like time went on, like during that time in transition of her leaving to me staying, I didn't know what to do. And we kind of just established like she was just going to do her own thing, and we were not going to talk, and that was that. I think like I had to just stop asking about her in readings. I had to just start worrying about her, let her come around if she wants to or if she wanted to. And yeah, I think like I still think about her, like to this day. Like I still think about her. I still hope like she's okay. I still hope like that she gets her life together and that she navigates it correctly. And that's that. Like I don't really speak much about Shay because I don't feel like nobody can really comment on like the things that we went through, just discussing it with one another for real, for real. And I felt like other people's opinions like really didn't matter because she has her side of things and I have my side of things. I think like we both had closure in a sense. I can definitely say like now, like I'm for sure like over her. I am open to friendship. That's if like the universe grants it to us. But other than that, I kind of just look at the situation like she's definitely a person that like I dated in this lifetime. A person that I feel like has definitely ground me, humbled me in a sense of like wanting me to work on myself and wanting me to explore certain things. But yeah, like I won't go into a lot of things that was experienced out like when she had left, but you can say it was crazy. But yeah, like I don't want to. She's not like I'm not gonna make her out to be like a bad person or anything. I think at the end of the day, like life happens and it is what it is. I'm always open to things, and that's just what I want to put out there. Like I'm always open to a better solution, a better outcome, just being happy in the same sense as well. Do I regret anything from the situation? No. I thought I did at first, like in the beginning of like me healing from her, really being consistent in my own healing journey. But I don't regret anything. I think I was supposed to meet up with her in this lifetime from a past life, and I think if we were to reunite, I hope it's on good terms. I hope that it's all smiles and all hugs and yeah. And I solely like wish her the best right now. Yeah, but no. I don't regret anything. I think like a lot of times she was definitely like the type of person to be like, I'm gonna leave you before you leave me. And I'm not the person to really be able to step out on somebody like and do my own thing like automatically even after I leave. But a consistency of people that I've talked to, like they have been that kind of way to really just do their own thing and leave me. Like, and then on top of that, I feel like when people leave me, it's like even after the fact, like they feel nothing at all. So I mean, but I feel everything. I feel every single thing, and nobody else is hurting. And so yeah, like it's crazy. It's really crazy. Like I don't regret anything. I just think like a lot of times when things are just not going good, I need to for my men for my mental, for my health, I need to put a pause on things. Like if I know certain things are just not going the way I want to, or if I feel like I'm losing myself, I really need to take a step back because I feel like that is the most healthiest thing I can do for me in the predicament. What misconceptions do I get a lot about healing? People don't believe that I am trying to grow, I am trying to change, I am trying to just do better. Like the way I speak now, the way I talk now, kind of is different, and people don't really see that a lot for me. I think people kind of have their own versions of me. People are more stuck on a version of who I used to be, and they're using that version of me to paint me out as a not so good human being, which is fine, which is okay. I feel like everybody has their story to tell. Um, and that's one thing about me. Like people have their own versions or side of things, and I don't really have to tell my side at all. Um, about who I am, who I choose to be, who I choose to love, all that, how I choose to heal, how I choose to grow. Like, it's like you're never going to kind of win with people who don't see themselves of what they could be. And I feel like me growing, people are just not used to that scenario. I think just at the end of the day, like it's very hard for people to kind of, believe that they could reach that potential as well. So, yeah. Defining my own spirituality, um, again, like when I talked about my family and family dynamics or something like that, I talked about growing up in a church and all that kind of stuff. But my views on Christianity have changed. I don't go to church now. I might get back into going to church. I don't know yet, but my views have definitely changed since I've been just, excuse me, connected to the universe, connected to energy, connected just to people. The more I heal, the more I get connected to people who are kind of just like me in a sense. Like I do believe in a higher power. I do believe like there is a God. Like there's a higher realm around things, and there's spirits, there's guides, and I love using those words as well. Even like when I talk about astrology, like people are so weird about it. They're like, oh my gosh, like why are you bringing that around me? And I'm like, bro, it's really not that terrible. I believe in signs and synchronicities. Like a lot of times you'll see me post 1111, you'll see me post 222. Like I even have it like tatted on me right there. You'll see me just posting a lot about like signs and synchronicities a lot. I've done readings obviously, and those have come out to be true. Like manifestations as well. Like I try to manifest a lot of positive outcomes in my life, like affirming, like I'm gonna be okay at the end of the day, affirming like that everything will work out like the way that it's supposed to. Like I will write certain affirmations and manifestations like on my mirror, like in my journal, to keep me afloat with certain things that are transpiring in my life. And I kind of just have to take it as what it is. And so I don't know how people do their own healing or spirituality and stuff like that, but that's really mine. And it's really close to my heart. Like I even have crystals and stuff like that for protection. Like I want to be protected from people who are definitely sending me negative energy. And I feel like people have their own words about it. Like they're like it's voodoo, like you're playing with the devil, and really it's just keep that away from me because it's really not. Like once you understand, once you want to be a learner and stuff like that about it, it's a really different kind of situation. So my mother's calling me, but I'm gonna have to wait. Send her a voicemail. But yeah, like for sure. So I think like right now, like I'm into still doing readings and stuff. I'll probably get one done real soon because I really need to answer questions answered about certain things and people. Yeah, when I'm learning about spirituality and stuff, like I've learned that to seek the unknown and stuff like that. And I get so fearful about the future and what it holds for me and stuff like that. But I tend to try not to worry about things that I cannot control, things that I cannot force, all of those things. Let's see, what has been the most challenging thing on your journey? I think staying open to multiple possibilities, multiple outcomes. Yeah, just pretty much staying open, forgiving, letting things go has been very troubling sometimes, very hard. Letting people come to me, like even when I talk about attachment styles and stuff like that, like I have like the urgency to really reach out to people and to be like, hey, like, are you okay and stuff like that, but really like I want to talk to you. So but at the same time, like I have to let a lot of people just, I have to take myself away from the situation and let people talk to me about it. I can't do anything if there's like not a conversation that wants to be had. So yeah. Again, like I'm always the one that kind of reach out to people, but seeing it in return can be troubling. I don't always see it in return. So again, just being patient and stuff like that, and trying to always have the best intentions for people, the best intentions for myself. I have to write this stuff down because I know I'm gonna forget. But it can be troubling or just hard, like when you just want the best for yourself and you want the best for other people, but you can't force them to understand or learn that. Again, with like reaching out and stuff like that. Yeah. Just if you are struggling with that, like just let them come to you. I'm still learning how to let people come to me sometimes. It can be testy, like when you see them, like, yeah. How do you become the best version of yourself? Multiple ways. I think once you want to grow and learn and just do better by yourself, like you're gonna put the work out. Whatever you put out is what you're gonna get back. And kind words from Zai. I love her. Just navigating your life the way you want to, the way you want your reality to be seen, to be heard. Like just always portray those things in your own life, which can be troubling, can be hard, can be a lot of things. But, spreading positivity, kind of keeping negative things away. Try not to be negative yourself, which can be very hard in this world right now. Um, I can definitely say, but just always, I have a hard time trying to just be the best version of myself sometimes, but I always have to, wake up, try to have a good day, be positive, learn, talk to people about what they've gone through, accept things that I cannot change, which is hard too, but really just being a positive navigator for other people who wants to come around, who wants to learn, and even like the peers that I work with, just anyone, like even family members as well, like spreading that I learn, my learning, my guidance to them. But yeah, like I'm happy with the version I am right now. I think I'm still learning right now. I'm still navigating. I'm still just trying to be positive and be the best version of myself that I can be. And I'm so happy with the version that I am now. Thanks to Paris, thanks to people who love and care, support me with anything that I'm trying to do right now within my life, within the space that I'm in. And I don't have the best moments sometimes. And a lot of times, like I am my own cheerleader, but I do have cheerleaders around me that I don't give credit to always. So I appreciate those that who to simply be great, So, but yeah, I think that's all the questions. I have to call my mom back, see what she wants, if she's not stalking my TikTok. But yeah, I say a lot of episodes are my favorites, but talking about Paris today and like my past and just my journey overall, like I'm still on this journey right now. Like, so I just hope like, as I'm learning and stuff, hopefully you guys can learn too. So I'm excited about what's to come, what is coming and stuff like that. So always be ready and stay ready. Yeah. Again, like I thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. Hopefully everybody has a great week coming up. My goodness. But yeah, again, thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe. Peace.